Yeah, we back. We back. Now, we got to talk about it, man. We got to talk about it. So, the president of Senegal, he's recently taken a trip to the Elysee Palace in Paris, right? It's been confirmed, It's been confirmed. Remember, like I said before, I didn't really know where I stood when it came to the president of Senegal. I didn't know whether he was a revolutionary. I didn't know whether he was a neocolonial agent. I didn't know. I just said, listen, we got to wait and see. We got to wait and see what he does, right? So, it's been confirmed. He met up with President Macron in Paris. He took a trip to the Elysee and he got initiated. He's officially an Elysee boy. That's what I call these dudes. These guys who go to Paris and take a picture at the Elysee Palace, I call them the Elysee boys, And I know it's still early, but when it comes to me, I mean, that's all I need to see. I don't got to see nothing else. I already know what time it is. When you see somebody go to the Elysee, you already know what time it is, man. You already know what time it is. But yeah, it's official. It's official. So let's get into it, man. Let's talk about it. Before we talk about his recent trip to France in the past few days, let's take a look at what the international media was saying when he first came to power. Take a look up on the screen. The shock victory of the new Senegalese president has been closely followed in Paris as questions mount on what the results mean for France's relations with its former West African colony. Will the new president stoke simmering anti-French sentiment or the rising influence of other foreign powers? Will it further shrink France's ebbing economic and military presence in West Africa, a region where Paris has already pulled its troops from countries like Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger? So, as you can see, when he first came to power, even the international media didn't really know where to put him. They didn't really know, how to gauge him. They were like, listen, is this new guy about to come into power and start smacking us in the face and start shaking things up? They didn't really know how to gauge him. They didn't really know where he stood. Even myself, I didn't really know where he stood. I didn't really have a firm opinion or grasp on the direction he was trying to go. Like I said, he was talking the language of self-determination, independence, economic freedom, and me understanding the anti-French sentiment that's been simmering in Francophone Africa. Of course, I'm going to support anybody taking an adversarial position against the French. The French is going to be my enemies until the world is done, until the world ends. Nigga, it's going to be fuck France. But unfortunately, this guy, he's not it. He's not it. He's not the chosen one. I'm sorry to tell y'all, he's not the chosen one. He's not the chosen one. As you can see, he's an Elysee boy. He's an Elysee boy. He be up in Paris taking pictures with Emmanuel Macron. You know how these Elysee boys be doing it. And like I mentioned before on previous videos, I respect the sovereignty of African nations. So if he wants to strengthen his ties with France and strengthen his relationship with Macron, he's well within his rights to do that. He is a head of state. He is a black man ruling over a sovereign nation. Do whatever you want to do, bro. But I'm just saying, when you are running for president, you didn't have to talk all that fly shit you was talking about. You was talking about, man, it's time for, sovereignty, and it's time to get the French out the country, and it's time for, we got to change the currency, and we got to break away from France. And listen, maybe when he was running for president, maybe he was actually sincere in what he was saying. And then maybe when it was time to actually implement all the nonsense he was talking about, maybe he realized, man, I'm not built for this. I'm not built for this. If you remember, it was a big controversy when it was discovered that he had two wives. It was actually two first ladies in Senegal. Maybe when it was time to take action upon his proclamations, maybe his two wives were like, listen, all that revolutionary talk, you better cut that shit out. Because we want to go shopping in Paris. We want to go buy Louis Vuitton and Yves Saint Laurent and Givenchy and Hermes and Balmain and all this other shit. Now, I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm just speculating. I'm just saying that it's easy to talk that talk, but it's a whole different ball game to actually implement that. I remember back the old Haitian president, René Préval, back in the day, one of the biggest sellouts of the past, 100 years, sold the whole damn country away. One of his biggest influences was his wife saying, listen, you better do whatever the white man in Washington says, because our kids got to go to school in America, and I want to go to America and go shopping in Miami and go, hop on a jet and go to New York and all this other shit. I want to go to Los Angeles. So you better do whatever the international community tells you to do. All that nationalism, patriotism, fighting for the country shit, you better throw that shit out in the trash, nigga. So like I said, brothers, you got to have a real woman by your side. I say that to say, you got to have a woman that's going to ride for you and die for you, man. A real woman that's going to ride, even in the face of threats and adversity, that's ready to ride and die for you, bro. Especially if you're taking up a role of leadership. I would say the greatest example of this would be the wives of the Haitian revolutionaries. I did a video on that a while back. You know, I remember when the French had kidnapped Christophe's firstborn son back in 1805, right? They said, listen, you better capitulate to our demands, or we're going to kill your firstborn son, who's like 10 years old. And Christophe was like, listen, my wife is young. My wife is beautiful. I'll have another child. And that's what Christophe did. He had another son. And the French killed his firstborn son. But when you're a leader, especially going up against these multi-generational enemies that we have and we're going to continue to have, you have to be ready to sacrifice to the highest degree, right? So as you can see, for whatever reason, the president of Senegal was not ready to sacrifice to the highest degree. He wasn't. He was not. Now, I don't know why when he was running for president, I don't know why he was talking all that crazy shit. Oh, we're going to abolish the CFA franc currency, and we're going to kick out the French military, and we're going to, we're going to focus on our national local industries, and we're going to, just break away from France. Why was he saying all that, bro? Why was he saying all that? Why was he saying all that? We should have knew it was funny business when he came to power and he was congratulated by the French foreign ministry. Anthony Blinken gave him a call to congratulate him. We should have knew it was funny business back then. When Anthony Blinken gave him the call, like, listen, congratulations, bro. Listen, we should have knew. We should have knew. But see, I remain optimistic because I don't want to throw my brothers in the trash so quickly, right? A lot of y'all was in the comment section telling me, bro, this dude, man, he's bought and paid for it, man. This dude, he ain't it. He not the chosen one. But me, I want to remain optimistic because, listen, I want to see France, demolished. So anybody coming talking that hot shit toward France, I'm like, listen, I'm with you, bro. I'm behind you. I'm standing behind you. But, he wasn't about that life. He wasn't about that life. He was not about that life. Like I said, I don't blame him. Everybody doesn't want to live the life of going against the Western powers, having to watch it back. Ibrahim Traore then dodged like 10 assassination attempts. President Assimi Goïta of Mali, he was getting stabbed up and, damn near lost his life one time. Everybody doesn't want to live like that. Having to watch over your shoulder. You scared to hop on a plane because it might mysteriously fall out the sky. Everybody doesn't want to live like that. And then the stress on top of that, your wife probably stressing out because she want to go to Paris. She want to go to Miami, Los Angeles, but she can't because they canceled her visa because you want to be a revolutionary. Everybody doesn't want to deal with the stress that comes with being a real black man. I understand. It's a hard knock life. It's the road less traveled. Everybody doesn't want to walk down that road. It's much easier to open the door for the multinational corporations, get some kickbacks on the side, throw it away in some offshore bank account, have a private jet, go wherever you want, go to London, go to Paris, go to New York, go to the Elysee Palace, take pictures for Instagram. It's way more fun. It's way more lavish and luxurious and way more easygoing. And you don't got to worry about, looking over your shoulder because the Western powers are going to make sure you're safe and secure. They're going to have military deployed inside your country to protect your administration, to protect your regime. It's a way more peaceful existence. It's way more stressful to be going against the West. You could look at Assimi Goïta. When Assimi Goïta came to power, he was young, he was vibrant. Man, in like 2-3 years, my man, he got gray in his beard. My man, he got wrinkles under his eye. Man, Assimi Goïta out here stressed out. The president of Mali out here stressed out. Even look at Ibrahim Traore. See, Ibrahim Traore right now, he still look young and vibrant. Give him like 2-3 years, man. You're going to see my boy popping up with the gray in his beard. Listen, I'm telling you, it's a stressful existence, man. It's a stressful existence. You don't see Ibrahim Traore flying all over the place. He be right in his country because he don't want to hop on that plane. That plane going to fall out the sky. For those of y'all who remember, President John Magufuli of Tanzania, God rest his soul. He with the ancestors. That was the big homie, back in the day, man. A few years ago, yeah, John Magufuli, he was making noise out here in these streets. Unfortunately, he passed away under mysterious circumstances. But he never hopped on no plane. He wasn't making, trips all over the place. He didn't even allow anybody to make food for him except his wife. Only his wife was allowed to make food for him because they're going to slip the poison inside your food. He understood what it was because he was talking a lot of hot shit towards the West. He was talking about we got to strengthen our local industries. We got to consolidate our power and unite our efforts throughout our diaspora. He was talking a lot of shit that was adversarial towards the West, right? So he understood, listen, you can enjoy certain privileges and perks when you talk like that. When you talking that real Pan-African revolutionary talk, you cannot be going to Paris and going to London and going to America. They're not going to let you in. They're not going to give you a visa. You're not going to be allowed in. You're not going to be able to come enjoy the luxuries of Western civilization. You're going to have to stay at home, never hop on a plane. You better have your wife make all your food. Don't have no chefs. You're going to have to live a very secluded existence. You're going to have to make sacrifices. That's what comes along with leadership, you know. And like I said, the homie in Senegal, he wasn't ready for that. He not ready for that. He not the chosen one. Man. We should have knew it was funny business, because he just got out of prison. This dude was a political prisoner. This guy was a political prisoner. He got out of prison and immediately went straight to president, right? And then Anthony Blinken called in his phone, and Macron called in his phone, and everybody congratulating him. We should have knew it was funny business. We should have knew this dude was a plant. This dude was installed. Man. They installed this dude. You know, listen, France is doing that a lot. They did the same thing in Gabon. They had this dude acting like he was a revolutionary leader. Come to find out, man, this dude is in a pocket of, he signed like billions of dollars worth of economic agreements with France like last week. I did a video on that. And keep in mind, the president of Gabon came to power because he overthrew the government of his country, right? And France, a so-called defender of democracy and human rights, they welcomed this man into their nation with full military honors. I thought it was about democracy. But listen, when you signing billions of dollars worth of economic agreements, they said, listen, democracy ain't that important anymore. We don't care about democracy no more. You see, they pick and choose when it comes to this democracy shit. But anyways, man, like I said, I ain't gonna be here too long, man. The president of Senegal, it's official. He's an Elysee boy. He not a revolutionary black man. He's an Elysee boy. He decided, he had two choices: go right or go left. Be a revolutionary black man, a real black man, like our forefathers, or nigga, we gonna be an Elysee boy and get this money. He decided, I'm gonna be an Elysee boy and get this money. I'm gonna put my wife in Louis Vuitton and Chanel and Dior, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna live lavish. I'm gonna get a Rolex. I'm gonna get a Mercedes Maybach. That's the path he decided to take. It is what it is. Like I said, democracy, democracy, the gift that keeps on giving, that good old democracy, that good old Western style democracy they be talking to us about. Anyways, man, it's your boy Neferkari, that's Salim, back in the Billy, yes indeed. Cash App in the description. Support the album, man. Support the album. Peace.
No. Feel like I'm 75. Know that your team be full of them traders, you know that can never be mine. I'm grabbing a thought when I drive. I'm back in my zone and we on. She said that she ready to come be my wife, yeah, hoping I don't do her wrong. I gave her my word in this bond. I'm whipping the best like a lamb. I mean no chicken and lamb. Accustomed to call me the man. I never be up on the gram. I'm keeping that way undercover. She want me to tell her I love her. I told her I'm breaking the rules. I told her we making the news. Back in my city they loving me. Standing alone, I'm 100 deep. Enemy plotting and still in reach. They trying to make sure that we underneath. Trying to make sure that we never make it. Coming for power, come get acquainted. Coming for everything that I wanted. Feeling like Drake, but I really wrote it. Feeling like Kendrick, I'm checking names. Gotta roll up while I go insane. Got so much stress, I been gained weight. Stuffing these racks in this Louis case. One thing for certain, I'm about to check. Keep it 100 and nothing less. Stick with the family since day one. Had to stay down till my day come. Had to stay down, but I'm never patient. Hop on the mic and I'm motivated. Hop on the mic and I drive a classic. Haters can't see me, they copping glasses. Back in the studio making magic. Got a new tape and it's in production. Back on my business, I got a budget. Staying low key when I'm out in public. Feel like I'm 75. Know that your team be full of them traders, you know that can never be mine. I'm grabbing a thought when I drive. I'm back in my zone and we on. She said that she ready to come be my wife, yeah, hoping I don't do her wrong. I gave her my word in this bond. I'm whipping the best like a lamb. I mean no chicken and lamb. Accustomed to call me the man. I never be up on the gram. I'm keeping that way undercover. She want me to tell her I love her. I told her I'm breaking the rules. I told her we making the news.